Greetings, it's your boy Prince Neutron, aka Mickey Neutronic, aka Club Guy Says. Um, Here in Dallas, Texas, man, beautiful, lovely city. I love my city. I love the culture that we're creating in my city, and I really don't like what's going on with the police in my city, or Fort Worth, for that matter. I'm sure everybody has heard of, aware of what is happening in Dallas, where police are shooting black folks in their homes, and like, what I'm saying, this going on the same time as all the domestic terrorism that's going on. This is like post-traumatic stress scenarios. Like, we really need some reparations now. We really are, you know what I'm saying, on the ADOS, however you want to pronounce that, for real. You know what I'm saying? American descendants of slaves still are under a lot of, you know what I'm saying, persecution. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. We are persecuted around this motherfucker, bro. They persecute us, bro. They persecute us. But, you know what I'm saying? It's a depth of knowledge that allows me and my kind to transcend beyond this, regardless of the parameters erected in, this temporal space that we live in, that we reside in together. Our collective is, as a humankind, our collective is fully interdependent. And that means our souls that are, captured in these human vessels are forced to circumnavigate with each other. It's so much harder in these days and times to live in solitude. I don't even think it's possible. But, I mean, I'm sure it can be arranged and compromised intentionally somehow. But I don't think, as far as how it's been in history, it's not possible for people groups or individuals to really live truly in solitude. And it's unfortunate if you're a person who feels like that's the ultimate goal or whatever. But it can be arranged. Like I said, you can arrange to live in solitude if that is something that you desire. Now, as far as the rest of us, we have to be mature enough to respect each other and live together with each other. And I've been doing, my research. I'm always going to be a student. I'm always going to learn and teach myself and seek knowledge. And I've been seeking knowledge around the area of ancient Kemet. Man, the Cometians were an amazing people group. And they had a lot of culture and a lot of history. And when you go back and you start to research it, you'll realize that a lot of it that you think you really don't know, because it's twisted and perverted and skewed from a very awkward lens, which is the lens of white supremacy. Let's not beat around the bush here. I applaud President Trump for two things. He acknowledged the fact that, we built this country, and, we deserve the credit. And, I think that was a humble and bold statement. He always making bold statements and stuff, but I think that one was a humble one. I don't know what is up with Kanye. I don't even really want to talk about Kanye, but we'll touch on Kanye. But I think, and then the other thing that Trump said was, I don't even know. I think that was probably the only good thing he's ever said. But I feel like the way society is headed right now, if we don't start to consider infrastructure, a very intricate and intentional look at building a structure, building a platform, building a, a foundation, we're not going to be able to withstand the tide that's coming, because it's a tide coming. I assure you, we are people of the water. To be honest, a lot of people don't realize that, but that is the true nature of mankind. And we came from the water. We came from the earth as well. And you know what I'm saying? Some of us, you know. But originally, you know what I'm saying, we were a people very closely orientated with the water. And then we became, you know, conquerors of the land. But before that, you know what I'm saying, the sea, man, and then now we've totally forgotten all of that. But I think the ecosystem is very important. There is very much to be gained from the ocean and the sea and sea exploration, as much as there is to be from space exploration. The earth is still a very, very vastly uncharted and undiscovered place. And I hate what they're doing with the rainforest, man. We really need to stand with our brothers, indigenous people of the rainforest, and help them, you know what I'm saying, fight for that, because that is one of the last sanctuaries on this planet. And Brazil's struggling economy just want to capitalize off of it. And that's some bullshit, but you know what I'm saying, we won't dwell on that too much. But I feel like we have a real opportunity to create a foundation with the technology and all of the advancements that we've collected that can really catapult us light years ahead into the future if we so choose to. And I'm actively doing so. If you want to find out more about FlipClick, you can go to flipclick.com, or I'll probably be setting up a Patreon here soon. But we're definitely aimed at, you know, really just spreading the gospel of multiculturalism and respecting each other's cultures and respecting each other's, you know, value and creativity, and realize that we are all, you know, children of the creator God. You feel me? We create, you know what I'm saying? We can collaborate and create even greater things. And I think as we advance technology and practice harmony and respect, you know what I'm saying, the sky is the limit, and beyond the sky, into the stars, man. I really think that another thing too is, like, you know, the stars are meant to be traveled. I feel like, you know, our dilemma as human beings, as humankind, as individuals, is always to strive to, you know, go beyond and to continue to excel and to create and to, you know, be prolific and to you know, add value to existence. Existence exploded, you know what I'm saying, and now it's here, and now we have all of these tools and all of these resources that we can leverage to, you know, create concepts and realities. And you know what I'm saying, we should do the most. We should do the most with that, you know what I'm saying? So but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, we have to deal with the temporal like, you know what I'm saying, real matters, like the police in Dallas running amok, killing folks. You know what I'm saying, police involved shootings between Dallas and Fort Worth. I think this is over like 30 already this year. They killing more niggas than niggas is killing niggas. Like they say, niggas is killing niggas. Niggas ain't killing niggas no more. At least not in Dallas. It's police killing niggas. That's fucked up, bro. We really need to bring light to that. We really need to figure out a way to and really advance the conversation about the way policing is done, because there needs to be a complete retraining of the police. We need to start recruiting police officers early, like from ROTC and from, you know, church ROTC programs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Police are going to be necessary because it's belligerent, ignorant people that want to use their free will to take away free will of others. And that's not cool. That's against laws of you know what I'm saying, the proliferation of nature. And that's, you know what I'm saying, a law that I okay, so let me put it this way. Light will for always exist. Light persists. And light has many sources. Now that, you know, now that light exists and people have learned the way of the light, light will always reach. It darts out, it explodes out, it goes on forever. And you know what I'm saying? You can't block it. You know what I'm saying? You can't absorb it. Even in the most supreme darkness, even in the halls of Amenti, there are corners that you can turn and find light. That is how powerful light is. Light shines everywhere, in all corners, even of the darkness, light shines. And then when you talk about realms, there are sanctuaries of light where the light is so all-encompassing and creative and giving and sharing that it is complete heaven. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, a lot of these people that are bent on the type of selfishness that capitalizes off of people. And here's the thing, you know, capitalism is a concept that's getting us into a lot of trouble in America. Capitalism promotes greed, it promotes corruption, it promotes a lot of things. But it's also a necessary creative force in the sense of it incentivizes entrepreneurs and it spurs growth and it spurs creativity. But the thing about it is it needs to be way more equitable. It does need to have parameters. I agree with Bernie Sanders on, you know, income tax on the rich, but beyond that, you know, philanthropy at some point ought to be a responsibility in our society. If you are being allowed to be an entrepreneur and a capitalist at some threshold, not only should you be encouraged to and, you know, just assume that you will, but you should be responsible for, by law, to do a certain amount of philanthropy, and you should also be taxed. We're going to tax you too, because that's just, you know, off the rip. There's things that society needs to be able to take care of that, you know, it just needs to be able to take care of. And that's a mechanism of government, and that's why government does exist to some extent. And it always will have to be, because, you know what I'm saying, these lands are zones, like, you know what I'm saying, they're denominations of territory that hopefully can live in peace and, you know, have fruitfulness and a positive impact on the people that live there and the areas around it. But yeah, man, y'all need to give us our reparations. And Tone Talks, he talks about some good stuff regarding you know, the ADOS movement and reparations and whatnot. But there's a couple of key things that he's missing out or leaving out in his arguments. And one of those things is we need to have a plan for how we are going to spend that reparations money that is part of the conversation actively. You know what I'm saying? And Dr. Claude Anderson touches on a lot of different things that we can do to, you know, kind of utilize, you know, that type of initiative if and when it becomes a reality. So I would just like to see, you know, him, you know, interview Dr. Claude Anderson and really get engaged with that aspect of it and talk more about that. And I think that would really kind of further, you know, the validity and the strength of the movement. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that's a, you know, I'm sure he's probably headed in that direction anyway already. Another person who I would like to see Tone Talks collaborate with is Merkaba. This dude named Merkaba. He has a channel on on YouTube called the Merkaba Academy or something like that. He has a lot of good knowledge about, you know, the history of black folks and stuff like that. And like, you know what I'm saying? I think that would be an interesting meeting of the minds if they could get along. Who knows? They might not be the type of people that can get along, but I would like to see a bridge between, because education is important and history is important, and I would like to see some black historical institutions be recognized and raised up and help preserve some of our history while we still can, before it's fully swallowed up and perverted and distorted and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. But anyway, I digress. I just wanted to get on here and kind of talk to y'all about a few things. Tekashi 6ix9ine, bro. That's crazy. I think him getting that $10 million deal in prison is shady. What they're doing is they're trying to bank on the fact that if he can look like he successfully snitched while he's still going through the situation, people might accept it more when he gets out. So they went ahead and gave him the 10 mil while he was in prison, because if they had waited till he got out, people would have already had made up their mind of whether or not he successfully snitched in the eyes of the hood and the eyes of the people. So I feel like what they did was shady, because they know that if they make it seem like, okay, he snitched on the gang, he's getting out, and he's getting 10 mil when he's getting out, it's gonna make it look like, okay, well, he had to do that shit. You would have snotched on the gang for 10 mil. Who wouldn't have? You know what I'm saying? knowing you was getting 10 mil coming out, would you have snitched on the gang? You know what I'm saying? Type shit. And it's niggas have done that, bro. Literally, kingpin niggas have been made this way, bro. It's niggas who have ratted out their brother and sent him to the pen and came out and took 10, not from a record deal, but from what they had made together, and sent their brother to the pen and took 10. After that nigga committed sin and lied on Ken. You don't do that, bro. That is not cool. I feel like that person and that entity is really not based in truth and righteousness, and they will not prevail. And I hope that 10 mil is a loss on their books, because you don't reward that type of behavior. That's my feelings on it, but hey, society is crazy, man. And the thing about it is, a lot of people think that Tekashi was a plant, or like he was an industry plant, and he was gonna snitch the whole time, and he played the role, and he did it. Now he snitched niggas out, bro, and now he get 10 mil. So if you look at it from the standpoint of what type of image does that set, what type of precedence, what type of, you know what I'm saying, what type of story or narrative is being established with this, is, you know what I'm saying, it's crazy, bro. They trying to make it look like, man, you would have did it, plus it's just some niggas anyway, you wasn't cool with them niggas, plus, you know, we gotta teach these niggas a lesson anyway, you know what I'm saying, plus might as well flex on these thumb on these niggas, you know what I'm saying. It's just a kind of crazy way that Hollywood, the music industry, tries to characterize us and our characters. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I see a movement of artists that's really coming, that's going to, you know, take the whole game to another level. And when that happens, you know, a lot of this stuff will be forgotten and irrelevant. And music is going to be forever. Music is going to be a part of our society and our culture forever. And it's actually one of the ways that we're going to heal this process. We're going to, you know, escalate this healing process. So, but yeah, I won't take up too much more of your guys' time. Please subscribe to my page, like and subscribe. Also, make sure you check out flipclick.com, especially if you live in Dallas. Also, if you live in Dallas, I have a Facebook page. It's Mickey Neutronic on Facebook. It's a public figure page. I do local music reviews, models, nightclub reviews, events, you know what I'm saying, all Dallas related. So check that out, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.